What's going on, y'all? Hold on. So I am about to call the credit director I was telling you about, David Miles. I told him I was gonna call him at 12:30. It's 12:32. You know what I mean? So I'm 2 minutes late, but I'm about to call him. Um, I told him I hit him up on LinkedIn and told him I would call him today at 12:30. I don't know if he like is gonna be expecting me to call him at that time, but that's what time I'm calling him, right? Because he didn't respond when I told him I was gonna call him at 12:30. But yeah, let me go ahead and give him a call. Um, I'm gonna be rushing to meet somebody for lunch, one of my friends, but figure I'd make this call on stream since we talked about it. Again, this is a credit director that I'm contacting to start building that relationship early. When I start seeking funding for a business acquisition later in the summer. So he might not answer, and that's cool if he doesn't.
This is David. I'm sorry I'm unavailable to take your call at the moment, but if you leave your name, number, and a brief message, I'll return your call as soon as possible. Thank you for calling. At the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hey, David, this is Miles Hanna. We connected on LinkedIn. Just wanted to reach out, like we talked about through LinkedIn, and just chat with you for a few minutes. Give me a call back when you get this message at 404-783-6440. Thanks. Bye. All right. So left him a message. I was hoping he would answer, but he did not, obviously. So I kind of messed up the stream I was gonna do. Kind of messed up my whole stream. It's all good though. But anyway, just quick updates. This gonna be the shortest stream ever. Cause like I said, I gotta go to meet her for lunch. One of my friends for lunch. She like and then it's not that close. It's kind of far, and I don't want to put a camera in front of her face or whatever. So that's why I'm gonna have to drop off stream when I go, since I'm gonna go meet her. But I'm gonna talk to y'all for a second. So busy, that basically describes my this last 3 to 5 days. These last few days just been really really busy. Um, we are making some progress with the job search for the like we're making progress, right? So a lot has happened just in the last few days. So basically, um, I told you I've been networking with Morehouse Bros through LinkedIn. So just connected with two. Well, I mean, connected with a lot more than two, but two of the Morehouse Bros I connected with, reached out to them, let them know, look, I'm looking for a job, yada yada yada, and they put in referrals at the companies they work at, right? So one of them put a referral in at Salesforce, the other one at the Clorox company, um, like at Clorox. So, um, as soon as they put those referrals in, I got interview requests, right? I had the recruiters reach out to me to schedule an interview. So it looks like working, doing the job search, like working through referrals, right? Trying to get referrals to certain jobs is going to be way, way more productive than just having my VA apply, just blindly apply to all these jobs. I may just have her start messaging the people I'm connecting with, right? The Morehouse Bros I'm connecting with, and asking them for a referral at their company. You see what I'm saying? Um, so that is kind of what's been going on. So, and it happened quick, right? It's like within 12 hours or whatever, them putting their referrals in, I was hearing back from the recruiter. You see what I'm saying? Like the next day. So once they put that referral in, say they put it in tonight, I was hearing back the next morning. You know what I'm saying, from the recruiter. So clearly, that is one of the best routes I can take, to land a job or at least land the interviews a lot quicker. Um, Connections on LinkedIn for referrals. Um, so those two interviews are set up. One of them is for tomorrow. The other one is for no, actually they're both for tomorrow. So both interviews are for tomorrow at those two companies. We had an interview this morning. I got an interview later this afternoon. Um, the one later this afternoon, the pay, right, the compensation is what it is basically, pretty close to what I've been looking for. I told y'all we've been seeking 200K base, and then at least double on target earnings, or even better, uncapped commission, right? So we can make anything. We'll make at least 200, but obviously anything above that, like we're able to make. Um, but the 200K would be the floor. So it's like that is tomorrow. 3 interviews tomorrow, and then no interviews on Friday and that's intentional because my mom has her surgery, and I'm like trying to make sure I'm locked into my mom's surgery and all that. So that's why Friday is really nothing going on. At the same time, we've set up lunch with people I've been networking with, people I'm trying to get to know and build relationships with. So Jeff, y'all have seen me meet with Jeff a few times. He, put me in contact with a guy by the name of Daryl, who works for like a credit union, like a lender. Talked to Daryl for a few minutes, told him about like some of the things I'm trying to do, and he connected me with a guy he knows who is who works in the e-commerce space, has an e-commerce brand, specifically like an Amazon store, right? And he's been doing that. I think he said for 7 years. He's been doing it full time for 5. You know what I mean? So this guy, and he says he works like a few hours a week. You know what I mean? Like that book, the 4 hour work week. He sounds like that's what he's into. That's what he's doing. So um, I want to connect with him, not because I want to build my own e-commerce store, but I thought it'd be good for me to connect with him because, as y'all know, I want to leverage the income from my job, or jobs, I should say, since I'm trying to get 2. I want to leverage. My hands are ashy, so I just got out of the shower and then put lotion on yet. But um, the reason I want to connect with him is, it's just networking in general. But it's like 6 months from now, when I'm looking to acquire an Amazon store, like I'm literally, like that's the target. See what I'm saying? 6 months from now. So when I look to do that, when I save up some money and like, build these relationships with these credit directors, like the one I just called, and like all that, and I'm ready to acquire an Amazon store. Guess who I'm gonna call? You see what I'm saying? To vet the Amazon store, help me vet the Amazon store, make sure that like everything checks out before I acquire it. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like it's important to start building that relationship now in January. So that when I call him to ask him, to help me vet this other Amazon store I'm looking to acquire, he's gonna not only be willing to do it, like he's gonna know, obviously just from his experience, he's gonna know exactly what to look for and what to review, what to analyze, with this other store. So that's a guy I'm meeting with next week for lunch, um, and then I told you I just called the credit director. He didn't answer the phone, but he is another Morehouse bro. The purpose for me calling him, trying to connect with him, again, building relationships. He is a credit director. I told y'all this before, but just to reiterate, right? He's a credit director for I don't know if it's a bank or a credit union, but at a lending, as a lender, he's a credit director. So basically, his role, his seniority in that organization is the guy who approves or denies, a business loan application, right? Or in my case, they call it a commercial loan. Sometimes they'll call it a business acquisition loan. So in my case, he's the one who can approve or so in my case, he's the one who can approve or deny the business acquisition loan that I'm gonna make. You see what I'm saying? So that's the reason for wanting to, build that relationship with him, in starting in January, so that when I start seeking that loan in May, June, whatever, like middle of the year again, he can help me out. So, um, thought we were gonna be able to connect on the phone today. If we, it looks like obviously we won't, but I want to chat with him on the phone first, and then see if him and I can set up lunch or something. I think he's actually in Connecticut, so I don't know how it's gonna work. But maybe he'll be in Atlanta, you know, at some point. You never know, right? He could be in Atlanta next week or something, right? Like, so, but that's somebody I'm gonna obviously, work on building that relationship with, and then reached back out to Aisha. I think I was on stream when I was talking to her, but she is a entrepreneur. She's got um, a web development company, web development agency, doing really well. She travels a lot. Like, her income is primarily passive. Y'all heard that conversation with her. So basically, and I told her when I was on stream, like, look, I want to set up some time to do lunch or something like that. Um, and she was like, I'm never gonna turn down food. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I'm never gonna turn down no food. So, reached out to her, see if we can set up like lunch for next week also. Um, and then last but not least, bro, I talked to um, another Morehouse bro who has got a really interesting background. Basically, long story short, he's a director of sales at a company, and but even cooler than that, bro owns two crumble cookies, like, has acquired, scaled, and sold a car wash, like, and he said he owns a Ferrari too, right? So that's like, kind of like the North Star for me in terms of materialistic stuff. Like that's it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like once I'm driving a Ferrari, I feel like I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I've made it. Um, we're gonna obviously continue to work, but like that's the I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't like materialistic things. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I do. So yeah, that would be that's like kind of one of the main things I want when I get wealthy. But just seems like a cool guy, down to earth guy. Um, and like I said, he's direct. He has those businesses, right? But he's also works the corporate works a corporate job. So um, and franchising is something I've been interested in. So connecting with him, we set up time to have lunch next Friday. Um, so yeah, bro. Like I told y'all, we're not playing this year. We're doing as much networking as we possibly can, um, and we're gonna be consistent about it. You see what I'm saying? So that's two already, potentially three. Very, very, you know, uh, like two, potentially three, like I don't know what you want to call them, influential or like um, key people, right? That I'm gonna network with, and build a relationship with. Um, but I also need to stop playing and set up time to meet with somebody like Catherine O'Day. She is a venture capitalist. Her and I have met before, but we haven't talked in a really, really long time. So, long story short, I want to schedule some time to talk to VCs as well and build relationships with them, because I could see, um, I can see either myself or somebody I know who we talked about before, Victor, um, build those, kind of build those relationships with the VCs, take them to another level, right? I know them, but we want to get to know them better. There's two of them I know. Get to know them better so that we can, ultimately, when it's time to seek funding for Victor's startup, Turner Neurons, or a new startup that I pursue, or whatever, I already know VCs I can reach out to who may be willing, right, to invest. And even the acquisition I'm talking about, me wanting to acquire an Amazon store later in the year, doesn't give me the full, right? I'll be able to reach out to a VC that I've been building that relationship with. So it's all strategic, it's all calculated. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure I'm connected with the right people, the right business people, to help me go to where I'm, to where I'm trying at necessarily, but I'm gonna be late, to to lunch with Ami, but I'll let her know now, and check in with y'all. Let you follow the plan. It should be straightforward. Not straightforward. It's not gonna be easy, but the way I'm going about doing things, this should be doable. This is the best plan. I've said it before. I say it again. It's the best plan I've ever had. It's many years, right? Like in the past, I tried to do this, try to do that. Thought I had a good plan. I didn't. You know what I mean? This by far is the best plan I've ever had. We've talked about it at length, so I really think I can achieve my goals this year if I just follow the plan. So y'all see what I'm talking about, man. But I'm signing off, man, and I will catch up with y'all tomorrow.